Okay, so good to have you back. It's the Weekend Politics, and we'll go straight to introducing our guest. Let me start by introducing by my immediate left. He's the Secretary of Council, Calabar Municipality, and he is one of the foremost, I would say, founders of the All Progressives Congress in Nigeria, not just in Cross River State. I have joining us Elder Comrade Isok Basiedem. Comrade, so good to have you join us on Weekend Politics. Good evening.
Good evening, my beloved comrade. God bless you. Good evening, Cross Variants. I love you.
Okay, and also I have the State Financial Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. He's been a regular face at some point. He was a regular face at some point, but maybe he needed to go prepare himself to come back. Let me introduce Chris Edad, the comrade. So good to have you, Chris, and good to have you come back. We missed you on the show.
When you say I've been a regular face, but I can't come without your invitation.
Oh, okay, so now
good evening, dear Consideration.
We are back on track.
God bless you.
Okay, so gentlemen, let's start with the Electoral Act, which was signed a few weeks back by Mr. President. Let us look at let me start with you, the stripe of the council. What are those major takeaways from the Electoral Act 2026?
Yes, thanks so much, my beloved brother. The Electoral Act that has just been signed by the President is a very good document for me. It is giving back power to the people. It has brought about a lot of things that the masses, the electoral masses have been yearning for, especially in the process of producing candidates for elections. Talk about direct and indirect primaries. Indirect primaries, a lot of people have been complaining so much about it because before you even go into the election, the outrageous payment of delegates and what have you. If you kept maybe 100 million naira for the election, you may end up spending about 80 to 90 million naira in your primaries. So by the time you win, you won't even have money to put into the election to carry out some of the nitty-gritty. So the introduction of direct primaries by the president and also in the consideration of
the
consensus for me has given power to the people so that by the time you are able to come out of primary, because during indirect primaries, you need to pay delegates. If they are maybe 200 to 300 in number, you have to pay them individually. But you can't pay the way it is going, the direct primaries. You can't pay delegates. Because, for example, if a ward has about 1,000 APC registered members, how much do you have to pay 1,000 persons? In a local government that you have 14 wards, 13, 12, 10 wards at least. So if let's assume there are 10 wards, how much do you have to pay 1,000 persons times 10? That's 10,000. So it means the masses are going to be given the responsibility and the capacity to choose who should represent them. So that is one. It is a very good thing. Then talking about the election itself, the time limit that has been reduced for court cases is a very good development, whereby there is a time given before you are being sworn into office after election, so as to avoid a situation where you stay outside, so you stay inside power to be going to court. You use the influences of your office to maybe sometimes influence the law court, the tribunal, the appeal panels, and what have you. So for me, in generality, the Electoral Act as signed by the President is a very good development and very good for our democracy.
Great. Okay, now, the Comrade Edadi, let me bring you on this. How did this get to you? Because you are you are opposition. But how did this get to? Have you accepted the amended electoral law, or you feel that there's more that was supposed to be done? How you as a person and then as opposition party?
Well, it's always a pleasure. Anytime an opportunity like this is called upon, most of us always create chance to attend an event of this magnitude because of it comes from passion and the decision to always engage in issues that affect all of us generally, not just from the angle of opposition. Looking at the whole scenario, the Electoral Act 2026 is more or less ideally supposed to be centered on party affair. I don't understand why the APC administration, because when you hear anything about electoral act and all of that, the way it's being manipulated, it doesn't give a general view. If you go to the National Assembly, they are almost 100% there, and they will have their private meeting and whatever they decide, provided that please the president and provided that will lead to their automatic ticket, they are fine with it. But I can assure you, 80-70% of those national members, this whole law, electoral act, will work against it. What is your business with direct or indirect primaries? That's supposed to be an internal party affair. Because for me, and at the same time, you say election will now be, primary will now be direct primaries, where everybody will be involved, and secondly, consensus will be involved, so that, the aspirant will not have the power to sort out all the members. The government will have influence to decide. Here in Cross River, they don't conduct election. We know what happened during local government election. How chairmen were handpicked from a paper, they just read and they work it out. Councillors, some were called from farm, from their various, some in swamp, and they come back, and today they are honorables. And so we have equally witnessed the last congresses of the APC. Because there is no democracy, and that's supposed to be reduced to their party's affair. How can you come on yesterday? We witnessed some few months ago, the APC administration did not in any way make it mandatory when they started their own, because they have hidden agenda. And until they concluded their own, they now turn back and reconcile with the National Assembly and make it a very serious offense, and that if you don't submit your membership, and they equally went to an extent of reducing, rather shifting the timetable backward, just to inconvenient the opposition. Like I've stated in one of the interviews in one of the radio houses in Calabar, see, all of those things might work, not just it's going to work against the APC themselves, because for me it's like a way of trying to coerce their members to an extent that he said you will be disqualified if you lose primary, and joining another party will be there are a lot of consequences, and you will face a lot of things and all of that, even after you fine all of that. And you feel that if I know that I'm popular and you use the power of your incumbent or the power at the top, disenfranchise me, you can only force the horse to the water, but to drink the water, that will lead to uncontrolled internal antipathy, because it's like you just force me to be in the party. I have no other options, and I can't do anything. So let's just give it a time.
Okay, so I'd like you to respond to.
Please, I really love to interject. The statement made by Comrade Chris Edadi shouldn't come from him. The reason is because sometime about 7-8 years ago, in Rivers State, in Nigeria, under the auspices of Nigerian Governors Forum, where Rotimi Amechi, the then chairman of Nigeria Governors Forum, scored 25 votes out of 36 state governors, and his opponent, John Najang, scored 7 out of the votes, total votes that were casted. And the PDP national leadership, yes, it was under PDP government, they came out to say that the 7 vote scored by John Ajang was greater than 24 votes scored by Rotimi Amechi. You see, when you live in a glass house, you must not throw stone. Coming back to the crux of the matter, the crux of the matter is for us to comment about the Electoral Act. The Electoral Act is, as far as I'm concerned, is the electoral law. It is the document that guides us, the law that guides our electoral activities, what we are to do and what we are not to do. And it also has the capacity, the right to decide what we do in our individual political parties, so that it is never an APC, a PDP thing. After all, in the National Assembly, the minority leader in the Senate is a PDP man, Senator Abba Moro from Benue State, though he has been changed and is being succeeded by an ADC person, because ADC today forms majority than PDP. And that is to say that PDP, ADC, APC, Labour Party, ABGA, ACOT, and other political parties, they have their representatives. And the Electoral Act, the electoral law passed through the first reading, the second reading, before the final assentment by the president. So it therefore means that every senator, every House of Rep member played a participatory role.
We don't have all the
So
time.
let us face the fact
and
stop casting aspersion against the party. I believe that the PDP, that my beloved brother is the state financial secretary, though he's about 17, they used to be 18. On the president, he has defected from PDP to APC. They are now just 17 members across River State. He is one of them. The PDP, that the name is People's Democratic Party, in their dealings, in their actions and inactions, they have never been democratic, because the issue of handpicking was introduced by them. The issue they are even casting aspersions against today in Nigeria, they introduced it. APC is even being very lenient and extremely democratic to do most of the things that even PDP members, PDP leaders in Nigeria and ADC are busy applauding the president as I speak today.
So let me quickly get to you now, Comrade Edadi. Now, in your opening remark, it as if you were not too, you needed the Electoral Act to carry the process of producing leaders, for elections to be as they want, as the party wants. But now, from what we saw, in that Electoral Act, that particular delegate, direct, and all of that, showed that it was trying to cut costs.
Yes.
PDP is a democratic party. So if you do not appreciate that the cost is being cut, I don't know, why would you love to challenge that? Is it not something that everyone across party lines should appreciate, that look, this is coming to cut costs for potential aspects?
To stop dollarization.
What do you think?
By article.
So what was the point?
Dollarization.
You know that the level we are now as Nigerians, cross-Ivorians, of course, the general masses, we can equally narrow it down to a electorate. Is that a lot of things happens, and most time when I see young men of our level, because I belong to a certain party, I felt bad when you are bringing me back to more than 2-3 decades. And you want to, no, let me come.
I'd like you to speak to what I just
No, I will go back to that.
We are putting on electoral.
Okay, let me.
And stop personal attacks.
Why would Nigeria want to argue on that indirect primaries being removed?
as against direct.
That is going to be a whole lot of. Because at least I have been following politics since 1999 in our state. So we know how a lot of
expensive.
So talk to us on that. Is it actually a bad thing?
First and foremost, to me, that holistically supposed to be a party affair. Any political party can devise any means. Now, you don't know that. You don't try to solve a problem by creating more problems. You want the entire world to gather in one place that they want to elect just one person. We are opening opportunity for violence. We are opening opportunity for more crisis. We are going back to the days of carry on during primaries. What is going to happen by this electoral act is that one man there, especially in Cross River State, will sit down there and write the names of those who are concluded and selected.
Which man?
And now,
mention the name.
You know when I'm on court, you give me that. Let's be mature, please. We are addressing issues, it's not personal. When we leave the stage, we can interact. Let's just be mature. So now, what did you expect? That in a party that the ward ESCO belong to a certain person, chapter ESCO belong to the same person, and the state ESCO belong to a certain person, the same source, and you are going to a ward, whether a chapter, to conduct a direct primary with who? And let's go and write today's date. We'll see come back here and record violence, crisis in the course of that, and some people will rush to the social media and complain of not seeing materials. And you come back here and announce those who were met. The next thing is that you start serving congratulatory messages. What is so important about direct primaries or not direct primaries? Every political party has their own mechanism that works for them. And that's supposed not to be the issue of Nigeria. Why should the 2026 Electoral Act focus on removing a fundamental issue that has to do with the criminality of candidate or aspirants? That certificate forgery is no longer an issue. We are now focused on issue that is meaningless to us and impose it on Cross-River on Nigeria in the name of because we are in charge. I think that progressively, ultimately, it is expected that by now, since the emergence of APC, that Nigerians should begin to see an improvement away from the things they told Nigeria in 2014 that they are bringing change. And somebody is still bringing us back using the days of PDP back to the APC days. 98% of those who are in APC today got their relevance in politics from PDP. And so you cannot just condemn a platform that make you who you are. We are in politics. And I believe that what I represent today in the opposition, if you give me another platform, I should represent it. I can't just come because I want, because maybe the governor will be hearing me, House of Rep will be hearing, the presidency will be hearing me, you talk blah, 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 so that when you did well. No, your children are there, they will be part of it. Who knows the consequences of what we are doing? Like I stayed in Sparkling FM, I said most time we politicians, we do things and plan from A to 100 without leaving space for God factor. All of these things that you are seeing, the timing is to withhold other party and mostly within them. Because we are going to witness a lot of politicians even including those in the National Assembly who are saying, those who say yes, it will bounce back against them.
Okay,
because
please, let me quickly bring him on now. Now, he's made a point that the Electoral Act is a way of hunting opposition. I'd like you to respond.
it's not just opposition alone.
It is a very.
No, let me correct so that you take it up. I'm not saying that.
Opposition and even the
No. The ruling party themselves, because they think that they are too smart, the consequences will start from them.
Okay.
Because even including some of the National Assembly members
Okay,
who were saying,
For me, it is a very lame excuse to be made by a state official of the former ruling party or former party, because as we speak, I am in charge of support groups of APC in the South by the grace of God. One of the group alone is strong in nationwide group is stronger than People's Democratic Party. One of the group I am superintending, which is Restoration Team of Nigeria, is stronger than People's Democratic Party. Now it is always very saddening to see a state official of PDP cry more than they believe. If you think that the electoral law will witch hunt members of the ruling party, why are you not crying for them? Are you not in the ruling party? You want to defect? That is one. Two, it means you are not ready to be democratic. There is nothing very important. There is nothing very attractive about PDP. Hence, the small number of governors, the small number of senators,
I think you are deviating from the point.
I am the one talking. Let me speak.
Are you talking about?
You are supposed to.
I'm
coming now. We belong to political parties, like you said. We are playing politics. If you belong to a political party and you see people leave their political parties to join your political party, it means there is something you are doing well. You must not be perfect because a political party is being managed by human beings. But when you now belong to a political party, when we started the 2023 administration, PDP had about 14 governors. Today, I think you have just one governor, B2, that are left. Why are they leaving you? That is supposed to cause a very big concern to you as a party state ESCO member. That why are my governors and my senators and House of Rep members and other former governors and chieftains of PDP, why are they leaving PDP you are saying that APC is a very bad party, yet almost all your party governors and the rest are dumping themselves into APC. It is not all about coming to speak to show your oratoric prowess, either on television or on radio. Are you doing what is right? For me, the best document, which I will continue to give kudos to the administration of Asiwaju Senator Dr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the Electoral Act. Because the content, someone like Peter Obi, the critical opposition, I'm the one talking, I'm rolling the floor. Critical opposition.
I hope there is no bias here.
The first person to congratulate or to show appreciation about the electoral law, Peter Obi, because of the direct primary. He does not have the millions of dollars. Like, I am even ashamed that him as state financial secretary, who is supposed to be a fighter of corruption, is still supporting the dollarization of primaries by Atiku. Peter Obi came out to express his satisfaction about the electoral act because it is going to give him room to get the presidential ticket. But you are against corruption.
Obviously, you've made your point that it's not to winch hunt the opposition.
At all.
Let's move away because you had asked the comrade that a particular question if he wanted to defect, and now that leads us to the next point in our national political discourse tonight. Recently, there's been a lot of defections, in the Nigerian political landscape. How do you address that? Let me start with we've seen a lot of not just moving from PDP to APC. We've seen from some movement, moving to other political parties.
Defection is as old as Nigerian political history. And at this point, defection is no longer news to anybody. And like I've stated in one of my publications, that this whole thing about defection, especially exiting from PDP, started from 2014, and up till this moment, you still keep hearing more defections. That's to tell you that PDP can never be exhausted, and they can continue to defend, and you still have members even in all the houses, in all the communities. But that is by the way. The fact that few persons are defecting to the ruling party does not in any way justify that APC is now the best ruling party. Everybody has their personal reasons. A lot of them, like before now, felt that because of the internal crisis in the APC, might end up not having their name in the ballots because of unstable. No, listen now. Like when I'm on
so the APC is having crisis. Correct.
It's not just allow Chris to understand.
You just allow me. Let me explain. So now, everybody, they have their reasons. You cannot say that because people are living that we are politicians. It's a game of interest. People are going there to protect themselves first. In case this other side couldn't work. And I've seen some persons, some incumbents who left the PDP that I was thinking that going to the APC, they will not even campaign again. There's more struggle there. And as of 2014, before the emergence of APC, the states at which the APC is now today that claim that is the overall, and at that time some PDP leaders were bold to make some declaration publicly that PDP will rule Nigeria for more than 50 years because they felt that everywhere have been captured, no opposition have a voice. But let me tell you, when a party gets to this point, know that the party has come to an end. Internally, you think that go to the streets. We have sample opinion with 50 members of APC and their welfare and their convenience.
But why, if they have issues with APC, if Nigerians have issues with APC, why are other political parties defecting there?
That is what I'm saying. Even as we are talking now, when you have new members coming to your party, if you are a good student of political party participation and history, you will know that you have already been shifted from your responsibility, your position. My dear friend here, looking at his trajectory in opposition, he is not supposed to be a council secretary. I was seeing him, he's supposed to be somewhere else. Council secretary, I can't be council secretary. It's a very small thing that I cannot even have a self to say myself that I'm council secretary. I'm telling you. So don't be coming to the public to say that you are honorary council secretary. That I cannot be. To be council secretary to who?
Okay.
With all the trajectory, with all the history
that you know what it takes to be council secretary. The council secretary is the head of the administration of that local government.
So however you polish it, that is the level you are. And so when we are talking in the public, you reduce yourself to that level, because I'm of the state financial secretary of the All People Democratic Party.
Because APC
and so the gap is too far. Local government to state is not. You cannot equate it.
Let's all go personal now.
It's not because it's trying to talk down on my party.
Let me bring it out. It's all quickly. I like you to now. Don't. I wouldn't want you to respond to.
No, I will not.
I wouldn't want to respond to Comrade Chris in that debate. I want to ask you this question: all of these defections, are they based on ideology or political survival?
It is all the defection is as a result of APC's political ideology.
But you are still the one castigating them in the social media.
Foundational.
Those who were against Otu, when they joined you were castigating
Can you
them.
allow me to speak?
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to inform my beloved brother so you not make the same mistake again. Sometime 14, 15 years ago, I was the State Deputy Secretary of Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, before moving to the welfare. So I have been in the State Exco member. I've been a State Exco member of
a party that not
for 15
without
16
even a
years
councillor.
ago. And for him to be proud of being a member of State Exco.
But he has run that.
15 years after I might have been.
But he said you shouldn't go back to that.
Because
my response will not be taken.
I like it.
Now let me also put it to you. You may be sympathizing with me for the contribution I've put in as far as opposition and the party is concerned. But the way you sounded as if you want to mock. You can't mock me.
He's not mocking. He's
For
not
today,
mocking.
power comes from God. God today says I should be secretary of local government, Calabar Metropolis.
And you have the audacity to condemn PDP.
I accepted it with all might.
You can't condemn PDP before me.
Heart. And that is one. Number two, I would like to educate him.
You are going too personal.
As a council secretary, you are the head of the administration. You are the head of administration of that local government and the head of
I hope that
all the
story is
appointees.
It part of this interview.
So that whenever we're invited
to
the television to speak, can you allow me speak, young man?
Okay, go ahead.
Whenever we're invited to speak, we have to face issues. You see,
well, you were busy condemning my party.
Why APC is the most beautiful bride? Why APC is the most beautiful bride? That since 2014, the likes of Rotimi Amechi, Atiku Abubakar and the rest defected from their party, abandoned their party to join APC. It's because of our foundational ideology and philosophy.
The same people
and
you
why,
mentioned, where are they today?
And why APC today?
So what is the difference between
APC
then and now?
APC today has 31 governors. 31 governors. And one of the PDP governors, the governor of Bauchi State, is negotiating with the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on how he can be please accepted in APC. Meaning, in the next couple of weeks, APC is going to be having 32 state governors. There is nothing you will say. You can't even bring a magician to convince the masses. Seeing a ruling party that is heading towards election, when PDP was heading towards election in 2014, 7 governors of PDP and 5 former governors and other chieftains defected from PDP to APC. Now, if you say that APC is bad, why as no governor, there is no governor that defected from APC to other parties? That is to say that there is something that is attracting people to APC. That is one. 2, today PDP has been reduced to a microscopic few membership across the country. As we speak in Cross River State, as at the last count 3 months ago, PDP had 18 members. Today there are 17 because Honorable Apostle Osinayi has defected to APC. And rumorsly, I have heard that they are going to be 16. Why? The man seated here, the state financial secretary of APC.
What's the
problem? Of APC.
So that when you have a party that everybody wants to belong to, it means if you cannot beat them, you join them.
Okay.
There is no amount of blackmails, incendiary and cantankerous statement that you will make that will reduce APC or increase PDP. APC comes out, PDP chapeau. Learn to respect your man, my friend.
Okay, let me
Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Let me quickly bring on. Let me get the last shots from you. Now, in 2023, May precisely, the PDP had 13 governors. As I speak with you now, President Daddy, there are 2 governors there. What do you think is attracting them? Is it the continued court cases that they have, that people will have to leave the party so that they can have their political fate, or there's something they are seeing in the APC? What will make a party within 2 years and some fractions, lose 10 governors to 2? Now we have just 2 there. 11 are gone.
Well, I think when that is, of course, the reality before us. And I believe that we are all Nigerians. And of course, we are Cross-Riverians. We have no state elsewhere as it stands outside Cross River State. And so when issues of public importance is presented before us, we should see it in respect to the consequences, the effects that affect all of us. And I want to put it to even the ruling party.
No, don't put
that
it on you. Why are
the
there
state
people
we
running?
are,
Let's face it.
the ruling party should be more worried.
That even you are coming to the
No,
ruling party.
let me come now. Should be more worried, because that will lead to and has led to a lot of redundancy among the APC members already. And having one political party system in a country as Nigeria is not good for anybody. I can tell you, few months ago, when Senator Jarigbe was still in the PDP, we keep hearing empowerment every day. Activities going on. The deputy governor is always there. Jarigbe will give 100 million. This one will give. Activities were busy. Things, a lot of things. And that's Jarigbe's existence and his outstanding performance dragged the governor's attention, and they have benefited some roads and all of that. When last did you hear the deputy governor on any official activities there? Because everything now is one family. It's going to. So the electorate, the masses suffer most. So when you see the level of defection, because politicians, nobody want to lose their personal interest. It is we that suffer the most.
Objection.
No.
The deputy governor was there a week ago for an empowerment program.
You respond.
You were not there. Are you from there?
It cannot be so. Even if there is an attempt at this moment, it can't be so conspicuous like what we do have when we have a direct opposition there. So when people live like that, I want to challenge our young people. When people leave party, they create room for the younger ones to come in. And I can tell you, the defection activity it cannot be exhausted. In fact, we are yet to see the real defection. Defection in Nigeria and changes. Anything can happen from now before December. And what you are thinking that you have captured the whole Nigeria into APC, you will be shocked the way Nigerians will change. Because a lot of people have what caged them to the party. And a lot of members of the APC are merely smiling in the public and crying behind the door. Because there is no option. And I think that the way the country is going when you talk about defection, we should all be more worrisome. That even the existing government can do anything they feel like because there is no opposition. The membership of their APC, no matter how grounded, how powerful, how rooted you are, is of no use. The people they are not even consulting. Rather, the new members who are there, I know a couple of young men who labored day and night during 2023 election in the name of, let me
ask you this quickly, with all honesty.
Yeah, don't answer your first question.
I want to ask this, before I bring you on, I want in all honesty. Now, when the PDP held sway, from 1999 till 2015, were they not celebrating defections from other political party? If this was the other side, would you be talking the same thing you're saying?
But well, you know this defection of a thing. Most time we don't say things because of what we benefit. We are looking at the consequence of having one political party because there is no integrity among us politicians. Everybody want to be there, and Do you know, guess what? In Cross River State today, I know of many big names that were thinking that when they leave PDP and defect to the APC, that same name continue. They defected and what they saw, because of shame, they can't come out to the public again. Because if he didn't there, people were already there on queue, waiting to benefit from their support and effort to 2023. And no, you just come in, you think with the name. When they trap you and they hail you on social media, hey, heavy big fish, you want to do, immediately that day after defection, even in their meeting, if you try to now make it look as if you have arrived, you are endangering yourself, because even among the APC they will be pinning themselves and say, this guy, what is he coming to approve? Let him wait until after 2027, because there are thousands of people who have worked for the party that are already waiting.
Of course.
So let us be let us encourage opposition. Nobody will die. Let me tell you, I keep on citing this instance. Perseverians need to learn from the current governor of Cross River State. If His Excellency Prince Otu did not have some element of principle, the way and manner they were treated. First, I want to say that as at 2015, the incumbent governor was one of the best senators in Cross River State, if not in the South. But the power that be, the then governor, it was obvious that they collected that mandate from him by all means, compulsorily. But today, he is the governor. Even some of those people who collected the power from him, today they find it difficult to see him. And he can, if he doesn't have the mind of God, he can revenge today. And the people are helpless. That alone is to tell us that even the current government, if you don't forget how you got great, take you there, and you want to victimize people, like what we heard at what happened in Bakassi, how will you do a thing like that? You won't remain in power. One day you will leave. And the worst thing that people forget most is that you don't even know who will succeed you. As both of us, three of us are here, after 2027, by 2031, those who will be in power today, you can never even imagine them. As at 2022, the people who are managing the affair of government today, some of them cannot even boast of 50,000 in their account. But today, they are the ones giving out the millions. So that's to tell us that when you have a position, don't look at the immediate. Look at humanity. Operate with God-fearing. So that at the end, okay, Prince Otu was steadfast. When he was manhandled, deprived of his rights, he tried on the 2019. He failed. Even this 2023 that passed, that he became, I know very well on his own. All he was bargaining for was to go back to Senate. But destiny finds him. We perseverance need to learn from this act and be steadfast. There is no need for unnecessary defection. We are not helping democracy. Okay. Remain where you are, and let us put things in perspective. So I want to submit by saying that defection has come to stay, but doesn't show anything about integrity. And I clearly said that anything concerning 2027 is uncertain, is unclear, and nobody can beat the chest that they know what will happen, because a minute can change and things will turn around. So for now, that is my problem with this Bushman. When I'm serious.
So you guys are friends. Let me really bring you up because of time. We're actually out of time.
But you
I got your message. My producers are already telling me, Joe, you need to get out of my set. This song, it's made a point that look, fine, there's need for opposition. Defection has come to stay. I'd like you to respond very quick before I bring the show to an end.
He is trying to sound nice in a way, but I know too well that my beloved brother
can never be nice.
Comrade Chris Kejadi is suffering from oppositioning crazy. Oppositioning crazy is a sickness suffered by opposition members. So that when you ask them,
that means you had to
question.
He had an experience when he was in opposition.
In 2012,
Yes. No, well, I'm coming. His oppositioning crazy has some mixture of a sickness known as schizophrenia. And you see, that's why when you ask him a question, instead of answering it, maybe you could say, okay, 1 + 1 is equal to what? He said, I learned somebody in Adim, in Biase, told me that 1 + 1.
And you are doing even more than that, because that was not the question that you were asked.
They will never go straight to answering your question. Now, in helping him, because he is suffering from, like I have said, oppositioning crazy, underlining crazy. I will help him by saying that there is nothing anybody can do to stop defection. Politics requires a lot of steadfastness, tenacity, courage, commitment, and political willingness to remain where you believe is good for you. That is the reason why some of us spent more than 2 decades in opposition to sustain. That is why some of us should be the highly or the most celebrated politicians, because we remained steadfast in opposition. Some persons came to meet us in opposition, and today that our opposition party is now a ruling party. So what you are saying is trying to hold brief for defectors. For me, I do not support one party system.
Good.
As a productive economist by practice, I love and I enjoy competition. Competitiveness in commerce and industry. Competitiveness in the economy gives room for quality productivity and slash of egocentrism in politics, and in commerce it brings about slash of prices of commodities. Let me give you a critical example. Something happened sometime early 2000 when the then President Olusegun Obasanjo reintroduced or revamped the telecommunication sector, where we had a monopoly. Talk about MTN, who came in with their SIM cards and their phones. Their phone then used to be known as Nokia 3310.
Are we still conscious
a lot of
time?
persons,
Because you are taking us to
a lot of persons will buy phone.
We don't have time.
And not be able to buy SIM. But when the likes of Econet
And Glow and all of that, yeah.
There was competitiveness that brought about the reduction of prices, the monopoly of MTN.
So obviously,
thank you for aligning with me.
Obviously, you're saying that
I love opposition.
So there shouldn't be one party system, right?
There shouldn't be one party system. Okay. But the opposition should be matured enough to engage the government in power on issues, not just casting aspersion and blackmailing the government in power. You come up with issues. I was in opposition. Every morning I drive around Calabar, take videos and pictures of heaps of refuse bins everywhere in Calabar, the bottles, the DC pot everywhere, and was putting on social media. In fact, it also helped in bringing popularity. So opposition should ensure that they engage the government of the day with issues and not parochialities.
So let's leave it there.
There's nothing like parochiality.
We've been able to learn.
Your PDP is being parochial.
Esau has taught us something today that it's opposition.
Opposition crazy. It's something for what we call opposition crazy.
It's been a great time. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. There's no time.
Just a word.
That is PDP for you.
This is actually on my back right now. So
just a word.
You can't have a word.
The opposition. I'll show you do it next Sunday. It's been a great time talking with Elder Congress.
A bloody opposition.
I think there is a there's conspiracy
No,
here.
there's no conspiracy.
You are responsibility. You're supposed to be an umpire.
He's an umpire. He's an unbiased umpire.
For being biased, I can't be biased.
Well, I leave it to your conscience.
Thank you very much.
Opposition.
Yes, because I think next other time I need to fill the gap between.
No problem.
Because there is a signal with your left and.
Symptoms of oppositioning crazy. Symptoms.
Thank you very
But
much.
the greatest truth is that let us discourage the unnecessary defection.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. So
That's the summary of what you have allowed
Thank you.
me.
Thank you. This is what we have.
Because it's not favorable to anybody.
You don't have government again.
Chris Daddy is
No more
the
government.
State Financial Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, and Lisa Obasedem is the Secretary of Council. Calabar Municipality. So guys, this is where we want to bring the show to an end. Join us next week Sunday. It was fire on the show. We'll continue at another level next Sundays, God willing. Till then, my name is Joseph Ian. Good night.